briefly. I mean, Henry Levine is the senior advisor at Albright Stonebridge Group. He had an important position as a Deputy Assistant Secretary of Commerce. So he knows U.S.-China relation in all dimensions, from security to business economic aspects. So I would, ask Hank, with the Trump administration sort of coming very soon, so many Chinese are wondering, are we really going to have a trade war when all Trump really means is going to slash 45% tariff or name China currency manipulator?
Yeah, I think we have to make a distinction. I don't think we're going to have a trade war. I don't think we're going to have 45% tariffs across the board. I think it is possible that China will be designated a currency manipulator, though I would note that that's more symbolic than anything else. But I think it's clear, not only from what Trump himself has said, but looking at his advisors and cabinet picks. These are people who for many, many years have encouraged the United States to get tougher with China in the economic area. And therefore, I think we're likely to see some measures on trade and investment directed at China, measures that frankly will make the government in Beijing somewhat unhappy. I guess my view is that if Trump does it, and I think it's possible, if he does, he's doing it simply because he made a big point of it during the campaign. It was one of the things he said he would do immediately. So if he does it, I would think he's just following through on that promise. Again, I would point out that even if he does it, and I'm not certain that he will, but if he does, it's only symbolic. There's no real practical effect on U.S.-China trade and investment.
But what kind of sort of a trade friction is getting escalated in the Trump administration, in your mind?
Yes, I think one area I think we're going to see some actions almost certainly is the area of investment. Chinese inbound acquisitions of U.S. companies. There has been, even predating the U.S. election, there has been the feeling that China is being pretty aggressive in making overseas acquisitions, or Chinese companies are making overseas acquisitions, but U.S. companies are blocked in many of those sectors within China. So I think there's a push for some reciprocal treatment in investment, and we may see measures of that type. And some growing concern on the national security area, for example, with regard to Chinese company acquisitions in the semiconductor area. On the trade side, I think we can expect to see a lot more anti-dumping and countervailing duty cases. We might see individual unilateral tariffs on certain products. So I think we'll see a series of measures that will raise the tensions in the bilateral economic relationship.
Are you expecting the bilateral relation, the Trump administration is going to be more rocky compared with the Obama administration, or is it going to be smoother?
First of all, we should emphasize that Trump himself has said that he likes to be unpredictable. He is proud of that. So there is a great deal of uncertainty here. But I guess my best assessment would be that over the first 12 months of the administration, we're likely to see a number of measures on the economic and other areas by the Trump administration that the government in China does not like. I further assume that it is quite probable that China's leaders will feel they have to respond in some way to those measures. So we'll be at a point where tensions and frictions have been significantly raised. The question is what happens then? Do both sides start to feel that the situation is getting out of control, that they need to find a way to lessen tensions, or do both sides become even more unhappy and take yet further measures? And I think it's not clear. I would like to think that given the importance of the U.S.-China bilateral relationship, that ultimately the leaders on both sides will realize that the situation is getting too too sensitive, too difficult, and they will find a way to lower the temperature.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.